I don't know. It might be too windy for this. We're still gonna try. Sorry for the audio if it's too windy.
What am I even doing? My brain is done.
Okay, hi guys, welcome back to the What Am I Even Doing podcast. I'm your host, Kenzie, as always, and today we're sitting outside and it's pretty windy, so my hand might be here for the whole time, video watchers. Sorry. I think that it's pretty prevalent that I need to address the elephant in the room because she's big. I've had quite a bit of people reach out to me and ask, what the hell, bro? Because I did say the podcast would be up last Friday from last week. And I really did intend to do that. I did. I just, unfortunately, didn't quite make it to recording. I laugh, but actually, I've just been dealing with like some weird mental health issues. And I don't really want to put that on the internet all the time. Like, I think that I'm pretty transparent with you guys most of the time, right? Well, I think all the time, but when it comes to some things, oh, so windy. When it comes to some things, I just think that I need to deal with that on my own and not put it on the internet for everyone to see and also judge. Maybe that's really the actual fear that I have, the judgment from people. So, um, today we are back. It's really smoky outside, and I don't think you guys can even tell, to be honest. Um, so if my voice starts to get raspy, then I'm sorry. But also, I have kind of a headache from the smoke, of course. So, anyways, I'm back. And like I said, I've been struggling with like some mental health stuff. And our topic for today, just because it's been like kind of top of my mind, is like um, I want to talk about loneliness versus like finding peace in solitude and all of those things and how I've been affected by them as of late and also in my life. If you are not into me being like low key kind of sappy, I'm sorry. I will try and be as funny as I possibly can, but I do think it's important to talk about, and hopefully this can help somebody because that's the whole point of my podcast in the first place, was to have an outlet to speak about my struggles. And hopefully that would help somebody in the process. So this is going to be my wind blocker. It's my phone case. Anyways, so let's see. Let's talk about this. What did I do this last week? What was the last thing I talked to you guys about? I think it was my mom's birthday. Yeah. So, mom had her birthday. It was great. We had a big, huge, wonderful party, and my neighbor's getting home. She just waved at me. Hello. Um, we had a really huge party, and then we went out afterward, and that was really fun. I had lots of family in town, and that was fan fucking tastic. Um, I say lots of family, but it's really just two people from Alaska, and I never get to see them. So that was really fun, and I got to see them. So yeah, and then let's see. I finally fully moved into my own salon. When I say that, I need to mention that it's a salon that I rent a room out of. I don't own the salon, you know what I mean? But I haven't been saying that, and I think it's low key kind of confusing people. So I'm sorry. But yeah, so I just did that, and so that's been kind of stressful, a lot stressful because it's expensive, but it's been so good, you guys. Like, if I can say anything at all about the last week that I haven't talked to you guys, I would say that that's probably like the highlight, is having my own space. Um, to just like do what I want with it. I've never had that since I got out of beauty school. So it's been a journey, but it's been a good journey for sure. So, what else did I do this week? Oh yeah, I had a couple mental breakdowns. I've been struggling to do normal human things, and I think that there's a lot of us that can relate to that. The struggle to do normal human stuff, like um, get up in the morning, take your shower, wash your hair, eat. Yeah, I've been struggling to do those normal human things because I feel like my brain has been on overdrive and there's been no way to slow her down. She is running a fucking marathon lately and I don't know what to do to calm her down. So, I found a couple of things that have helped and sorry about that. There's a lady yelling. Anyway, so I found a couple of things that have helped and I will say that they only work for like outdoorsy people. I have recently got a paddleboard and it's become one of my favorite things to do ever. So that's been really nice. I decided to make that kind of my me time. Actually, me and my cousin go together, but when it's not both of us or if our days off don't line up, then um, it's been nice to like go out there and just like reflect, literally have the reflection of the water on me, but also like reflect on how I'm feeling. And I want to say cry if I need to, but I'm one of those people where if I'm already feeling like I'm in pain, um, like emotional pain, I don't want to cry because it brings so much more pain to me than I feel like I'm capable of handling sometimes. In those moments, I really just want to turn it all off. Like, who watches Vampire Diaries in this area? Vampire Diaries, the originals, legacies, that whole thing. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute because they have the ability to turn off their emotions. And sometimes it'd be nice to just like flip the switch. Granted, it does show you in the show how often that works, and it really like how often it works like in the long run. And it doesn't ever. Not one time has it worked in the long run. Everyone always like ruins their lives when they do that. So maybe I don't need to do that. I was talking to a friend today about the idea of just like ceasing to exist for just a moment. And I'm not talking like that sounds crazy. Okay. I'm okay, you guys. Like I don't want anybody to worry. Um what I mean by that is just like a blimp and you can just like be gone for just a minute or just close your eyes and the whole world stands still. And that's like what I mean by ceasing to exist. Press pause. Really, that's what I'm trying to say. Like so it doesn't sound as crazy or as like worry bothering to people. Anyway, it's more so like I just want things to stand still for a second so I can like process my own shit. Because I am having a hard time processing all of that stuff. I don't really want to get into a lot of like the super personal stuff that I've been dealing with because it's not just me and it can involve other people and other people's emotions and I don't think that's fair to talk about them with talk about my emotions when they could affect someone else's. Anyways, I just don't feel like that's fair to like really get into the details of it, you know? So I'm not going to, and I apologize if you guys all want to know about it. Maybe someday I'll be able to tell you. But I don't think I can right now. So I will move on from that. But in this last week or couple of weeks, I've been feeling like, um, okay, to start, I would say that I find peace in my own company. Like, I find comfortability in my own company. And a lot of people can't seem to say that. So I feel lucky in that department. But I will say that I also think that that's not the case all the time for me. And I learned that. I learned that these last couple of weeks. I think that I didn't really know that I was dealing with that, with like a loneliness issue, because I just don't tend to feel that way. Um like I can be very entertaining on my for myself, by myself, and not have any issues. But this last couple of weeks I've been feeling like so fucking alone in this world. Um and like nobody would understand, because I have people around me all the time. I'm never alone, truly. The only time I'm alone is when I lay my head down on the pillow at night. You know what I mean? But on the days when I'm feeling alone, but also am actually physically alone, those were the days that were the hardest for me. And unfortunately, one of those days would have been my recording days, which is why you didn't see anything. Actually, two of those days. So that's why you didn't see anything last week, because I just did not feel like getting on here and like recording myself with like puffy eyes and saying everything's okay, because it wasn't. And I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm also not going to share like in-depth real life things that are going on right now. I will share them when they're not going on right now. You know what I mean? When it's like a past thing, like, oh, I went through this and I overcame it and this is what happened. Currently I'm still kind of dealing. So I would say that, yeah, I'm okay, but I'm also dealing with like this push and pull of loneliness versus solitude. And I think that solitude can have some kind of like negative feeling about it, but it's, in my eyes, I feel like loneliness is like real loneliness, and feeling that is way more, it's like way heavier than solitude. Solitude to me feels like I'm feeling peaceful and loving my like my own space. I'm centered in my own body and mind, and I'm like at peace in my solitude. I am comfortable in, and it's not, I'm comfortable in my own presence. I'm not comfortable in my loneliness, you know? So I think that I probably need to open up a little bit more to people, like in my physical real life, about what I'm dealing with. But sometimes it's really hard to put those things into words. And so if you're like me and you feel like you can't speak it out loud, um, I totally understand what you're going through. I get it. I've been trying to find the words for so long now to tell people to like ask for help. I've learned through treatment and therapy and all sorts of stuff that asking for help is the hardest step, but the most important step, you know what I mean? To like fixing the situation. And um anyways, I'm deciding that I'm going to reach out for help. I'm going to go back to therapy. I haven't been in therapy since 2021, almost 2022, like the end of 2021. I took a break, and this year I've gone through some really, really big changes, and it's only halfway through the year. And I feel like my entire life has flipped upside down. And I've said that a couple of times in a joking way, but like actually, it's done a 180, and I don't know how to process it. But anyways, all of that aside, I am gonna go back to therapy. I just can't process anything. Not anything. I just can't process these like big life changes by myself. And therapy is such an awesome tool. Such an awesome tool to have. And so many people that I know tell me all the time like, "Oh, yeah, no, I don't have insurance, or I can't afford a therapist, or I can't like, it comes down to the money." Um but at least in the place where I live, and I usually don't say it online, but I'll say it right now for anybody who needs the help. Deschutes County Behavioral Health will never turn you away based off of your money, based off of funds. So if you are feeling like you need that help, then call them and just tell them your situation, and they will never turn you away. And I'm sure that there's many other places in this world that will do the same, um, or won't turn you away. So yeah, they'll do the same. And I know that it's scary to ask for help, but like I said, it's that first step to like finding your you. Um, that sounds weird to say your you, but I don't know, like how do I explain that? Um, so okay, for example, a Gemini. I don't know if anybody is into zodiacs or anything like that, astrology really, um, or anything like that, but I'm gonna get into it just a slight bit. Also, I think next week we're gonna dissect my birth chart, you guys. So stay tuned for that. I'm actually really excited to do that. I've never actually done that. So um anyway, so Gemini is looked at a lot of the times by people who don't know, who don't like dig deep into astrology. They're looked at like as, for lack of better words, two-faced, and that's just not the case. They have the ability to mold their personality themselves, mold themselves to certain energies, um, and situations around them. And I think that's a really like ad- that's a really admirable talent to have, especially something that you just have and you can just do that. And regardless of that molding, they're still unapologetically themselves, and I think it's really super sick. I don't get along with a lot of Geminis except for my sister-in-laws, but I think that they're talented little beings. So putting that into this finding the best, like finding your you, I think everybody has a tendency to be I think everybody has a version of themselves that they have developed over time that works within like different social situations. And I think it's really important to, like I said, find peace within your own solitude, be comfortable in your own presence, and really hone in on your you. Like, who are you at your core for yourself, not for any other social situation, whether it's a one on one with a friend, a big crowd of people like a concert or some sort of festival, a family dinner. That's a whole different you. So I think that therapy is so awesome. It's such a really awesome tool to find the best you for you. Well, not the best you for you, but to one, be the best you for you, and also to really hone in and connect with that little inner piece of yourself, that not everybody gets to see. And there's so many times in people's lives where not only do people not really get to see that, but people don't even show it to themselves. And I'm guilty of that, you know, and I don't want to be anymore. I'm guilty of that all the time. And I think people are like ever changing and evolving, and I think that's a beautiful quality of the human condition. But I also think that regardless of that movement in your life, you still have your core you, and I think that core you is for you, you know. And it's like for you to show to share with anybody else too, but if you don't want to, at least get to know your core you for you. um Fun little drinking game. Every time I say you, take a drink. Oh my gosh. um but no, like, on a serious note though, I appreciate you guys for being so patient with me in this journey, and I am hoping that me taking time off doesn't happen often because I don't like to miss a week. Um, but sometimes, unfortunately, things just get in the way, and this time it happened to be my own brain, and I couldn't seem to function like a normal human being. And what is normal, anyways, right? That's like nobody can tell me like normalcy and like what it is, obviously, but societal views of normal, my brain was not letting me function in that way. And I tried really hard. I actually recorded little snippets and things like that, and I just would get to the point where I'm like, I can't be fake, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to sit here and be okay. And I just kept crying. So I'm not going to cry on camera, even though I just started to a second ago, but I sucked it up. You know what I mean? That was a terrible noise. I'm really sorry for everyone that just heard me sniff. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah. So that's kind of my view on like the solitude versus the loneliness. Um, I'd love to know your guys' view on that, and if anyone feels like they relate to me in those areas. I, like I said, really have a lot of respect for my own solitude, and I don't feel like I've been in that space lately. I feel like I've really been in a space of loneliness. And I've been reaching out to people, and even when I'm with them, I still feel like I and it's not anyone else's fault, right? It's not like anyone's doing this to me, but even when I'm with other people, I'm still feeling like I don't know, not taken care of by my own self. It's like I still feel so alone. I think it's gonna get better. It's already kind of started to get better. Yeah, so just a couple of things that like I've been doing. Like I said, been taking out my paddleboard. That's been really helping me to kind of just like feel the water. Water to me is like very stabilizing in a weird way. Um, there's times when I will just go stare at a river and its ebb and flow and just watch it for hours. And something about that turns off it doesn't turn off my brain. It helps to process like hard things. And I've been that way since I was in like middle school. I used to go down to the canal down the road and do that. Um and so water to me has been really helpful, and thank God it's summer because I'm able to go and be by the water. Unfortunately, it is fire season, so we're engulfed in smoke most of the days, but when it's not, it's been really nice to go and get out. So I've been doing that. Just being by the water, like with my cousin, we just went down to this little river down the road, and it was nice to just, we literally just like sat on the rocks in the river and just felt the water like rush over us. It's almost electrifying, like it gives you energy, you know what I mean? But like in a calm way, if that makes any sense. Um, Water to me holds so much energy and memory and um, electricity and just like feeling. And so to have that pass over my body has been like therapeutic, and I've tried to treat it more like a more like a therapy session for myself without having to say any words, you know? Has anybody ever tried those? What are gosh, I don't even know what they're called. It's like when you go and you like lay down in like a pot of water and you just like lay there and you close your eyes and you just like vibe. I don't really know exactly what goes on in there, but I do know that a lot of people, like reviews wise, I've never talked to anybody that's ever done it, but reviews that I've seen say people say that's like a super therapeutic experience and it's like a processing experience. So I might try that. There's something like that in town, and I don't know how much it is, but I think maybe in the wintertime I'll do that because the water's heated. In the summertime, I will do it by myself. I will go to the lake and I will lay on my back. I will literally go to the lake and swim to the middle of it and just lay there like I'm laying on a bed. And it's so nice. It's like the second my ears get covered by the water and everything goes silent, it's like I can just breathe, you know? It does feel nice to breathe. So we're going to take a deep breath because we've been talking about some heavy stuff today. We're going to It does feel nice. Unfortunately, I am outside in the smoke, so my lungs are giving me a run for my own fucking money right now. So there's that. I chose to record here. This is my own fault. Um anyway, so I've been doing the paddleboarding. I've been doing the water therapy type situation, and that's been really super fun and great. Um and I also recently started walking again. in the evenings. I probably will not walk today because of how smoky it is, and I think my lungs will hate me for that. So probably not, but every other day when walking in the evenings, giving myself time with just me. I will put on my podcast and just walk. And yesterday I was walking with the podcast. It's so fucking funny that I was just like laughing to myself. I probably look like a psychopath just on the side of the road, like literally cracking up. I was dying. Tears were streaming down my fucking face, actually. So do that. Go be unapologetically you on the side of the road and let people look. Let them stare. Let them think, okay? My mom's going to get this tattoo that says let them on her arm, and I think that's where she wants it. Anyways, I'm so excited for her to get that, and I also think I'm going to copy her because fuck yeah, let them. I don't care. I'd like to say that I don't care. I think with age I've started to get to a point where I don't care as much, but I still do care a little bit. And I hate to admit that to all of you, but here we are. I'm admitting it. I care, but I don't want to. So we're actively working in that direction. Um, how did I even get to that topic? Anyways, another thing I've been doing is writing. I told you guys, I think a while back that I've been writing. Um, and I have been. It's kind of something I wanted to keep on the down low, but I don't know. I kind of want to talk about it. So I'm going to. I had an idea for a story, and I've never written short stories or even long stories. Books wise, I would love to write this. I have a whole outline, and I would love to write this book that I have like in my head. And that sounds to me to say that out loud sounds so silly. Like, who, bitch, who do you think you are? Like, trying to write a fucking book right now? What? You're just some small town esthetician ass eyelash girl who does a podcast. But also, maybe that's negative self talk, and we shouldn't do that here. So, especially after what we've just already been talking about, right? So, anyways, I've been writing. I have the whole outline done. I've been doing some like character development, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm wondering, I'm not going to tell you what it's about yet. So, this is maybe a pointless question. It is queer, just so anybody's wondering. It is a lesbian book. It is about gay girls. Um, so if you're not into that, so sorry, Charlie. That's what I'm into and also who I am. So, oh my God, there's a lady walking and I thought she had like 700 dogs. Turns out she has a baby and two dogs. Never mind. Um, sorry, that was so random. Anyways, so I'm not going to tell you what it's about, but I wanted to know if you guys would be interested in something like that. I think that I want to, like, at the beginning of the year, so in like 6 months. This is a long time away, and I'm probably going to talk about it again, but it's been kind of on my mind lately. I don't know if anybody knows what Patreon is, but basically it's like a tiered subscription service where like you would subscribe and you would get like special content from me. I think that if I decide to do that at the top of next year, then I will put, if the book's done. This is like all very like who knows, but this is like kind of my idea, my dream, if you will. Um at the top of next year, I'm thinking that I want to maybe um if the book's done, do kind of like an audiobook type situation and I can read it with you guys. And then I'll also like put out for any Patreon subscribers um a version of the book you can download on like Kindle or like iPad or whatever. I'm not really sure how to do that, but we're gonna see. And then I can do like a little audiobook reading time. And if you're a Patreon subscriber, then you can have access to it. And also, I was thinking on that note, I would do um, vlogs over there and little like extra content all week long, you guys. I have moments when I'm like, when I'm like, oh, I should say that on the podcast, or I'm having a thought right now and I want to talk about it, and I want to talk about it with my podcast subscribers because I feel like it's a good topic. And I want to just like whip out my phone and like start recording. Where am I going to put that? I don't have anywhere to put it, and I'm not doing like mini episodes, you know what I mean? I could do that, little mini-sodes or something, but I think that'd be a good place to put things like that. And so basically my idea is to like stockpile like a significant amount of content for you all and then get it up on there and then open it up to anybody who wants to subscribe. And then I'll do like a tiered situation. So I'll have like a free tier and then like a $5 tier or something, and then you can just I was thinking about doing the free tier and then just having that started before the first. And then and then on like I said the first, but I mean the first of the year, January. And then as of January, I would do a $5 tier that you're more than welcome to subscribe to, and then that'll have like extra content plus what you would get at the free tier. Anyways, that's like totally in the future, but would anybody be interested in subscribing to my Patreon if it was free this year? That's what I would like to know. Patreon has an app now. I don't know how long they've had an app, but there was at one point when they didn't have one and it was absolutely horrendous. So, um, it's pretty easy to download and just like kind of navigate, and then I can customize it a lot on there. So, and I don't really want to be posting vlogs anymore on YouTube. I would much rather them be on Patreon, like um, horizontal vlogs. Otherwise, I think I'll put some stuff on TikTok too. But anyways, that was a long talk about Patreon and the plans for the future. These are things that just go through my head, you guys. Like all the time, and I just need to get them out, and that's the reason why I'm here, and that's the reason why I'm doing this. But the main thing was me telling you that I have been writing quite a bit, and it's been nice to throw myself into something because I'm writing something that's like not real. Um it feels like I'm putting myself like into a different mm, mm, let's see, like a fantasy land kind of. I'm not writing fantasy, but that's what it seemed like, that's what it feels like, as I'm being put into like a different world for a while. Um, and I think that that's so nice. That's the reason why I read books in the first place. I love series because I can just read and read and read and be stuck in that world instead of my own. I was in a really unhealthy, like, slash abusive relationship for like 4 years. And in that, I really became a reader, and I figured out it's because I was trying to escape my own reality. Also, I just really like reading too, but it was really intense on how much I was reading. And then I started playing Minecraft, and like that also was a nice escape from my own reality. So, yeah, I did do that. So interesting. I don't know if I've ever talked about that relationship with you guys. I don't know if I will really, because again, that's like deeply personal. I got through it though, so maybe we could talk about that. I've talked about my eating disorder on here, so we could talk about abusive relationships and gaslighting and manipulation and how to come out of that and how to like work your way through it and all of that. And I think that would be a fantastic episode. So maybe we'll do that. I just picked this grass and I feel bad about it now. Does anybody ever do that? Like you just like feel bad for picking grass or like leaves or flowers? I do. I try to say thank you when I do those things, or I'm sorry if it was on accident and I didn't realize I was going to do it. So sorry, grass. That was my bad. Um, Another thing I've been doing, speaking of grass, is grounding. Oh, I listened to a podcast. Gosh, this was so long ago. This had to have been like 2 years ago now. Maybe not that long. Maybe not that long, but it feels like it. Um, but she was saying that the best thing for you or one of the best things for like your vitamin D intake is to go outside in the very early morning beginning sunlight and let the sun do its thing on your skin and engulf yourself in that vitamin D. So anyways, I've been trying to kind of like work my way into that. Again, I just haven't had the motivation to do normal human things, let alone add those things on to my day. So that's in the goals. That's what I'm trying to do. And I'm also trying to work on the negative self-talk. I think that I talked about that in my habits episode. And it's been going great, except just being like so incredibly dull is what it feels like. I don't know. I feel like I've just been being dull because I'm like not in a mood to feel my emotions. I have too much going on to be like sitting down and like going through the pain of feeling everything cuz it hits me like a ton of bricks and I just don't have the time for it right now, which is crazy to say cuz I've never been one to be like I don't have the time for my emotions. I usually feel them pretty well, at least since treatment, right? I'm aware. I'm so utterly aware of the fact that I have them and they are in there and I need to get them out and they feel like they are like, when you feel like you're going to cry and you try and hold it back and you can feel it in the back of your throat? That's how I've been feeling, but like my emotions are bubbling up into this it's just like trying to come out all the time and I'm like I'm doing somebody's lash extensions. I can't just start crying right now. That happens because I have music playing in the studio and I will be like, this song is really fucking sad right now and I can't change it. There's nothing I can do about it. So I just sit here and just listen to it and it's fine. Um, I wish I could just listen to true crime podcasts or something the whole time I'm lashing. But then I was talking to a client the other day and she was like, I don't know, this lady had true crime podcasts going on and it was disturbing to everybody else around. And honestly, that stuff is not relaxing to me. We are two different breeds, her and I. Gosh, I'm so off track. This is what happens when I don't do an outline, you guys. Let's see. Oh, I was talking about morning sunlight and grounding. There's a lot of people that call grounding earthing now. The fuck? Do you, I guess, but I'm never gonna call it earthing. Putting your feet like actually in the dirt is just literally grounding. So I've been doing that a lot. In the summertime, I don't think I really wear shoes very much. And if I do, then they're sandals and they're easy to just kick off. So, um, something to help is grounding first thing in the morning with your morning sunlight. I've been really loving that. Oh, also, I think that I say this and then tomorrow I'm going to drink coffee. I think that I want to tone down my coffee intake and up my matcha intake instead. I guess it's much better for you than coffee, and I would really like to do that. So I think I'm gonna order some matcha because there's this one on Amazon that I really like. So I'm gonna do that and see how that works out. And I do think that the caffeine from the coffee gives me like shaky hand anxiety when I already have an anxious mind and I then top it off with caffeine. It's like, girl, what the fuck are you doing? You're not going to be able to breathe in 30 minutes. So I need to tone that down. And I literally only drink a cup of coffee a day. And then I have zero caffeine for the rest of the day. I just think that matcha has a more natural caffeine, and I think that it will be better for my brain to function. So I'm going to try that and see how that works out for me. I want to say I'll give you guys all like updates on this, and I'm going to try. I'm going to try. But I don't know if I will remember. Um, let's backtrack on the tips that I've given you guys because I don't know that I don't really remember what they were now that I think about it. My God, I went into Walmart today with a list of 3 things, and I walked in there and immediately forgot what the whole list was. I usually don't have an issue like that, but like I don't have to write it down. But like I said, my brain has been so cloudy. It's like just I feel like I want to like knock it a little bit, scrub it out, you know, soap and water. Really get it out, boil it, something. I don't know. That sounds crazy, boiling my brain. Ew, I don't like it. Um, anyways, let's see. Do I have any other tips? Oh, I think that it's important to so like personal hygiene, right? Like when I'm talking about like getting up and showering and stuff. I think it's important to set an alarm on your phone or like a reminder on your phone. We're all on our phones like all the time. We're staring at them every day, all day long. If you set an alarm on your phone that says time to get ready for bed, and then you know that that means go in, wash your face, brush your teeth, do your skincare, put on your lotion. I put on perfume before bed because I don't know why. I think that I don't really know why. I was gonna say something, but I don't actually know why I do that. It's just something I do. Um, so alarms on my phone have actually helped me. I have alarms on my phone that help me to like function, and it's been really beneficial for me to have that. So that's another tip I would say. Um, and also drink water, you guys. Also drink water. I was told by a therapist one time in my life that it's impossible to have a panic attack and drink water at the same time. I don't know the science behind it. I've just lived with it since middle school or maybe freshman year, and I have lived with it ever since. And it's been a huge thing for me. People talk about their anxiety water bottles. Let me tell you, I need mine, need it, so I don't have panic attack. Also, if you struggle with panic attacks, I'm really sorry, and I'm here for you, and you're not alone. And my hair just got stuck in my ring. Oh, great. Anyway, I don't think I have anything else today, you guys. I know that I'm just coming back and I should have all of these things to share, but unfortunately, I didn't leave because I was doing something fun, as we've come to the conclusion of throughout this episode. Um, so here's the last things I'll say. Check on your friends. If they say they're okay, and you know that they're kind of more of a people pleaser or like stick to themselves kind of person, just know that maybe they're actually not. Um, show your love to them in only ways that you know how, and don't push. Just be there. Yeah, I think that I've got it. I think that I've got it. Jesus. I think that we've got it. We've got this, you guys. We're going to get through all of our struggles and things together. I appreciate you for listening. I appreciate you for being here. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, rate, leave a rating, all of the things. And I cannot wait to talk at you next week. Again, thank you for listening. See you next time. Bye.